Hello everybody, this is Joseph Propati, and in this new video I'm going to be covering my game, The Potion Maker. Now, The Potion Maker was created a little while ago for the 9-card contest. It was probably maybe a couple years ago. And I've kind of revisited the game because I've gone through some major updates. I've changed the rules pretty drastically, updated the card graphics and changed some of the mechanics on the Cauldron card. So yeah, this is something, if you're interested in this type of game, this is kind of a dice placement, dice movement, you know, collecting resources and earning gold type of game. So if you watch this video and you're interested in this game, you can find this on Board Game Geek. It will be under the game The Potion Maker. You can find the files there. I am finalizing the rules because it is a major update, cleaning it up a lot. But I did want to put this together so I can do a instructional playthrough video. Now, it's still 9 cards. I'm trying to keep that format, but it does have more components. And the reason for that is it just makes the game run a little smoother, and it's not such a constraint to you playing the game and having to use certain resources when it's just easier to have cubes instead of dice. So that's kind of the change that I made based on the components. I also added a few components, again, to make it easier to play. So what is the Potion Maker? So basically the concept of the Potion Maker is you are a wizard who makes potions for the king. Now the king is looking for a special potion, and you're kind of at your last leg with the king. He's kind of frustrated with you because you haven't been giving the potions that he's been looking for. So he needs this giant strength potion that he can give to his army to help him defeat one of his rivals. And if you can't get this thing made, you're pretty much going to the dungeon. So your task in this game is to create potions. You have 6 different types of potions that you can create, and you'll be selling those potions to different kingdoms to earn enough gold, which is in the amount of 220 gold, to basically create this special potion, purchasing the ingredients and creating this special potion for the king. And if you can't do that in 15 turns, you lose the game. So you have 15 turns to earn 220 gold or more, and if you can't do that in 15 turns, you lose the game. So that's the premise of the game. Now, again, it's a dice placement, a kind of grid in a sense, movement. You're going to be managing resources, selling potions, earning gold, that kind of thing. And you have different types of mechanics you can use, because this card right here, now the 9 cards are this. You have 4 cards that make up the land cards, and these give you paths, and they have location sites where if it's got a die, it's a resource gathering location. If it has a colored cube, that's where you're going to sell potions. If you look at these cards, you'll have the 6 different cube colors spread out across all 4 cards, and then you have 3 different gathering locations. So one's a mine, one's where you'll harvest, and then this one is where you'll gather. So, and then these are all the different kingdoms. Here is where your wizard shop is, and you have your workers. The workers are the little yellow meeples, and you have a certain amount of workers that will help you out. They are the ones that will go out into the land to gather the resources and come back bringing those resources so you can use them as ingredients. Those resources are ingredients. And then when you make potions, they'll go back out and bring them to these locations to sell the potions to make money in that goal of making 220 gold. So on the other side of these, you have the advanced game cards. And these are the ones that have these little red meeple with numbers in them. So you'll see that on every card there is a spot that you'll have to move into that has this little red meeple. And that what that is this is basically a thief location. These are thieves that will attack your worker and steal the components or ingredients that they've gathered, or steal the potions that you're trying to sell. And basically that's, if you see this meeple with a number, if you roll that 4, then that thief has stolen whatever that worker is carrying. If your worker's not carrying anything, it's just a space that you have to move through. So that is the advanced game side of the cards. We're going to be doing in this instructional video the basic side. Okay. Then over here we have your scorecard. This shows you the type of potions. There's 6 potions represented by 6 colored cubes. This is how much gold you make when you sell them. And then here's your score track to mark when you reach greater than 220 gold. Here is your cauldron, and this is where basically a lot of the game takes place, where you have your tasks, your workers move, and they perform actions to help you create your potions. Now, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can cut this out so all 4 cards are together, or you can take your 4 cards and build the cauldron, right, as it is, like this. So it's also, you know, you have 2 sides. So if you wanted to build the 4 cards, you can take the 4 cards, keep it in a nice compact, put it in a bag, or just use a cutout of the 4. It makes it a little cleaner. It's not moving around. So that's what I'm going to use for this instructional video. I'm just going to keep the 4, cut it out, and I'll play off that. Now the components you have are, you've got 4 white 6-sided dice, 6 6-sided dice that are white, 6 that are black, these 6-sided dice. You have 5 mini meeple, yellow, and then you have all these different colored cubes. Now, let's set up everything. We have our cauldron, right? We'll set that out first. Take our scorecard, right? Put it here. And we'll take our 4 land cards. Now, what you're going to do is just shuffle these up a little bit, all right? And you have 2 ways that you can lay these out. You can lay them out in a row like this, or you can put them in a 2x2 grid. So in this one, I'm going to do a 2x2. So it's going to be left to right, left to right, right? Now always try and keep this, if you can, closest to you, right? So wherever you place that wizard shop, because that's the wizard shop, just pick it up, swap a card with it, and keep it here. It's easier to maintain that this is where all your workers start from, okay? Or you can just have it just like this. Randomly shuffle up the cards, and whatever you place out is where it's at. So we do this, 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 and this. So fun. But see, it's playable where it could literally be anywhere because you have all these connection points, okay? So on this one, we'll just do this. We'll keep it here, but it can be placed anywhere and it still functions. It's not a problem, all right? Now we have our cubes, and now let's place these out. So we have 3 white cubes. These are going to keep track of your score. Put those on the 0 space. Then we have a red cube for your actions, a green cube for your turns. Those will keep track of those. This white cube is the one that tracks what potion you make as you go through the potion creation process. These 6 black D6, we'll put those over here. And then the remainder of these, you should have 2 of each. So there should be 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 green, 2 blue, 2 black, and 2 brown. Okay, and these are used for when you create potions. Those will get traveled out and then sold to these kingdoms. So here's your 5 mini meeple. Those are your workers. And then these are your basically resource or ingredients dice. This is your setup. You're ready to play. Okay? When you have workers that are inside the wizard shop, you can just leave them down here, because this basically represents the wizard shop. All actions will take place when you're building or creating potions. And here, this is all your land movement for either picking up resources or selling potions. But this is the setup for the potion maker. And once you got this set up, you're ready to go. You're ready to play. So why don't we go move on to, I'll cover the instructions about the game, talk about the cards themselves, and then in the end we'll go through a playthrough. Possibly do a whole game, not sure, we'll see. Hello again, this is Joseph Propati, and in this part of the video we're going to cover the instructions and mechanics and a little bit of detail about each card, and this is for my game, the Potion Maker. So first let's talk about the land cards. So you see these land cards, you have these different spaces, and they all represent different things. These are connection points. You'll see that they have connection points to other cards, right? These are harvest locations. Anything that has a die next to it, an image of a die, that's where your workers are going to go to pick up the resources or ingredients for your potions. When you have these locations here that have colored cubes, those are kingdoms or locations that will buy your potions, but they only want a certain color potion. So if you bring them any color other than what it shows, they won't buy it. Okay? But these are all movement points or locations. So if you were to move from here to here, that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And movement are actions. So each space you move is a single action. So moving from here, that's 1 action, 2 actions, 3 actions, 4 actions, and then continuing on. Okay? And that is those 4 cards. Now again, this is the basic setup. This is your wizard set. These are where your workers will start from. So if they ever move around, it's going to be like a 1 action, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is where the actions will get recorded. All right, so that brings us to our cauldron. This is the wizard's shop, and this is where all the magic happens. This is where you create the potions. So here we have a turn tracker. Now this tracks your 15 turns. Okay, once you get past that, the game's over. If you haven't sold your potions and actually made 220 gold, more than 200, it should be 220 or more, you lose the game. So you need to get that before you get past the end of the 15th turn. Now, each turn consists of up to 15 actions. So in this first turn, you can do 15 actions. Once you get past that, you'll go to turn 2, and then you have 15 more. So it can continue on. Since turns and actions are kind of the same, in the sense that 15 to 1, you just keep going, even if you're in the middle of doing something else, moving, creating a potion. So just remember, 15 actions constitute 1 turn. Get past 15 turns, you lose the game if you haven't made 220 gold. Now this white cube here in the middle, that is going to move around, and when it lands on these colored hexes, that's the potion that it makes. So I'll explain how that moves, but how you get it to force around this movement. But let's say you move it around and it gets to this green hex, you've created a green potion, and then put that over here. If it lands in these clear or empty hexes, it was a failed potion and the ingredients are wasted and nothing happened on that turn. So these colored hexes are what you want this cube to land on, because that's what potion you're trying to create. On the perimeter here of the cauldron, you have 6 locations. Those 6 locations are tasks that your workers can perform. You know, you put a worker in there and they'll be able to perform that task. That task is 1 action. So if you put a worker here, that's 1 action, it would perform that task. Now let me explain how these actions are and these open circles. When you see the advanced game, there's different images for these circles. Some of them will be closed circles. And the difference between a closed circle and open circle means you can stack and use multiple workers for this 1 task. If it's a closed circle, only 1 worker can perform that task, and that's it. So on the advanced side, there's a few of these that have closed circuits. That means you can only perform this task once. So if you're in here, you can only rotate a die once. Okay? So these are your 6 tasks. These open circles means you can put multiple workers in there. And then let me talk about what these mechanics are of these tasks. So these top 2, one with arrows going in a clockwise and the other one with counterclockwise, what this is these are the manipulation of the dice. And I want to talk about the dice, which are ingredients, before I get deep into these mechanics. Okay, so if we go back over here to the cards, I need to initially go get ingredients. It means I need to gather ingredients. So on the turn, I could start here and then go, okay, I'm looking for this pot, this one, and this one. So what I would do is I want to move 1, 2, and then that would be 2 actions. A movement space is an action. Once I get to this location, I'm going to gather resources. I rolled the die, and I got 6 ingredients, 6 resources in that space. Okay, now I want to get these back to the wizard shop. So it's going to cost me 1, 2 more actions. Move back. My worker is back in the shop, and now I have this packet of ingredients that I get to use to create a potion. And that's the same with all these. If I go here, I roll a dice, I put that dice value on there, and then I have to work all the way back to the wizard shop to get those ingredients, to use them. So we've gone out, we've got some resources, we've come back, and I have these available workers. Now, you're going to want to have a lot of workers out here gathering and selling. So at any given time, you may only have a couple, 3, 4. You may at one time have all your workers. But only workers that are inside the wizard shop, not out here in the kingdom, those are the ones that are going to help you create your potion. Okay, so once you have this set of ingredients, this value on here represents how many dice you're going to use. So if I had a 2 here, I'd only be using 2 dice. If I had 1, I'd only get to use 1 dice. In this case, I have 6. So I'm going to perform a potion creation process right now. So I take this die, I have 6. I get to take all 6 of these. Okay? And what you do is you're going to roll these. All right? So we have 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 3. Now the way this works is once you've rolled these black d6, these now get placed on the edge or the outer border of this cauldron. But there's some manipulation you can do with these dice. And the way that works is anytime you get a double or a triple, you can take one of those dice away. So if I wanted to, I could take one of these dice away and use them for an extra potion. Because I want to try and make as many potions as I can because I want to get them out there and sell them. So if you had a case where, and I'm just going to end up re-rolling again. So let's say I had 2 6s, right? And I had 2 1s, 2 3s. I could take each one of these doubles, and now I get to make 2 potions from that one batch of ingredients, right? I still got to use workers to create the potions, but instead of just making 1 potion and trying to get the special ones, I now have 2 chances, okay? Now if I roll again, and let's say I have a triple, right? And I have something like this. Same thing, but now I can take 1 or 2 of these to create another potion, like an extra potion. So doubles, you can take 1 for any doubles, and it doesn't have to be all. You can just take 1 of them if you want to. It doesn't matter. For any doubles, any triples, you can take 1 or 2 of those extra and set them aside. If you get 4 or more of a kind, so let's say we have this, okay? That's your roll. Well, now you're forced to take one of these, okay? And that has to be your extra potion, okay? Same with this. If you had this as like that. Now I'm forced to take these 2, create that potion, and here's my extra potion. Now that, because that's a double, you can't split it again. It's just a 1 split action, okay? Just like if I had all 4s, right? If I was rolling 6 dice, I have to take these 3, and those are now 2 potions I get to create. So remember, doubles, triples, quadruples or higher. If it's 3 or more, or 4 or more, I got to take 3 of them or more. You know, I got to take whatever's past that 3rd dice and set it aside as an extra potion. Okay, so just remember that 2s, 3s, you know, doubles, triples, quadruples, you get to break those up. So let's say we roll our 6 dice, right? And this is what we get. We have 1, 4, we have 3 2s, and a 6. Now any of these singles, they're going to stay as they are. This one, I got 3 of a kind, so I'm going to take these 2 and I'll set them aside for an extra potion. See what I can get out of them. But now that I have these ingredients dice, I place them, and again, this is for the basic game, I place them on the corresponding matching number. That is on the edge of that cauldron. These we'll set aside. We'll use these for the next potion. Okay? These values and positions are really what is the meat of starting your potion creation. Okay? Since these are fixed right now, you're going to start trying to do some manipulation with these dice. And that's where the workers come in. Now, you might have a time where, let's say, I didn't want to, because there were 3 there. Let's say I only wanted to use 1 of those for the extra, and I've got 2 of these now. Well, what you do is anytime you have something that's stacked, you just add those together, and it makes a total for a single dice. Now, you might have a time where you've got 2 6s, like this. Well, you can't add those because the most you can get is 6, so you just leave them like that. You could even have a position where you have 3 of these 2s, like this. And then again, you would just change it and make a 6. So anything that's stacked, just add them up. If you had extras, right, you would just leave them on top. So in this case, we had 2 2s, like that, right? So we're going to take these and we make a 4. Now we have our start of our starting point of our potion creation process, right? This is where the workers come in. You look at your values, and then you look at the potions you can make, and you're trying to get this black potion. There are only 2 locations inside the cauldron that you can make that. And when you look at these colors, you'll notice there's a lot of these yellow. Well, that's the cheapest potion you can make. You get a little less green, a little less, until you get these black ones. There's only 2 places where you can make that special 20 gold piece potion. But that's your goal. This is what you want to try and make. So you see where these are at, and you go, okay, I have my dice values. You'll see a little arrow here. That's the way that this value is going to start counting from the center. So if I did nothing here, if I had no workers and I couldn't manipulate these dice, I would just look at these and go, okay, how is this going to affect? I'd have to go, 1's going to be this way and 4's this way, which means 1 would subtract from this 4 would be 3, so it would be 1, 2, 3, right? That's the movement for these. And then I have a 4, which would go in this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 6 would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, unfortunately, that would have left me right on an empty hex, and I would have just wasted these ingredients. I would have gotten no potion out of this. Kind of a bummer. So that's where I really need to get my workers involved. So it's very important that you have some of your workers left in the shop so they can manipulate these values. That's where these 6 task locations come in. Now we knew that when we just let it go and it was over here, didn't get us anything. But now I need to manipulate these so I can get here, or the red, just something that will give me some good gold and a high valued potion. Well, I look on here and go, okay, how do I get to here or here? I know I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So how can I manipulate these dice? Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Well, I have a 4, so I'm looking good here. But now how do I get these so it doesn't affect this down, right? Because this is going to make it go up, because there's more here than there, and this is going to make it go this way. Well, let's start manipulating the dice, right? I want to keep that 4 so I can keep it there. Let's try and keep it in this vertical spot. And that means by manipulating these. So what we can do is, since I know I need to go 1, 2, 3, I can take, if I had all these 5 workers, I can do rotations, and we'll talk about these. If I put something here, that means I can rotate a dice, any one of these dice, one position, clockwise. So let's say I put this guy here, it was an action, I took this 1 and I wanted to go here. If that's where it ends, I now have to add these together, and that will become a 5. All right? Same with if I go onto here, which is counterclockwise. I take the 6, I go here, Since there's no dice here, that's where it goes. That position is the final position. If there happened to be 1, 2, if I said, oh, I'm going to use 2 guys, and I went 1, 2, well, now I have to add these together, and that's now 10, a value of 10. Very important that you watch how high the amount is. Because if you start manipulating these values and you move, and anytime your white hex goes out of the edge of this cauldron, that potion is destroyed. All the ingredients are ruined. It was a failed potion. And that's as you're moving around, you get to this edge and you're like 4, 5, oh, ruined potion. Doesn't even matter. So, very important that you don't get these values too high because they will push you off the edge of the cauldron. So now, again, I want to go 4 and I want to come down 3 to get that black one. 4 is good, right? I want to make this go down, so what we can do is we want to get rid of that. So let's use these. So we have counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise. Then we have these values that are plus and minus. What these do are, if I land it here and I want to change this one, I can minus it by 1, right? If I put another one, now I can go down 1 more. Right? Same with putting them here. I can say I'm going to make this go to 5, 1 more go to 6. So that just ups the value of a dice by 1. That's what that action does. These actions here, these are odds and evens and then a flip. So if I did this, right, and put it on flip, that means whatever this value is, it's whatever the other side is. If I want to switch this one, this now becomes a 1, right? 4 becomes a 3, 5 becomes a 2, 2 becomes 5. It's whatever is on the opposite side. So that's what this action is. And you can do more than 1 in that action. If I go here, this is odds and evens. So what that means is if I want to do this one and do odds and evens, I can make this the next odd, which is 3. Or I can go 5 and go down from 1 to 5. All right? Same with this 4, it's evens. If I want to do an evens, this can either be a 6 or I can make it a 2. Right? You're basically just changing it to the next odd or even value. Right? 4, 6, 2s. If I had a 6 and I want to go up, it's just going to be a 2, or if I go down, it's going to be a 4. So it just lets you change whatever that value is to the next even or odd value. Okay, so that's what that one's for. So as we go back to our example, we have these set ingredients and we want to get this so we're down here. We're going to definitely have to manipulate these dice, right? This 2, which was a 4, this is good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now I want to have these changed. So what I'll do is I'll flip, right? Make this a 6. So now at least I'm overpowering this one where I need 1, 2, 3. Right? So if I can overpower this one, I want to make that a 3. I can lower the value, right? Or I could have flipped it, either way. But you can only get, 2 in these things, multiples. You can't pile up a bunch in here. Okay, so you're limited to the max amount of 2 workers in each one of these open circles. Okay, closed circle 1, open circle 2. So now I've got the right 4. I've got the right power of 3 overriding 2, which means I'm going to go down 3, and I got to get rid of that one. I got 3 workers left. So the best way to do this is do another flip, right? So now I'm maxed out on that. This changes this to a 1. Do another minus, which gets rid of that. Now I'm maxed out on that. And now I think I'm good. Okay? Now, every time I did one of those actions, right? 1, 2, that was an action and action. These 2, action, action. I marked down those actions as I perform those. So I performed 4 tasks, which has an action per task. So I keep track of those actions. Now I'm good with my tasks. Now let's move the ingredients, mix them up, and then see what potion I come out with. So I start with a 4. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 6 minus 3 is 3, so I go 1, 2, 3. Look at that. I was able to create the black potion. and I set that aside. Right? Now that was that potion creation. All this stuff comes back, put it back there. So now I have this potion I just created. Well, now what I want to do is let's get this out there so I can sell it and get the 20 gold. The way that works is I use one of my workers, okay? And I see, how do I get there? Right? I got 1, 2, 3. Remember, each movement is an action, so 1, 2, 3. And now this black location wants a black potion, right? So I sell that, and I make 20 gold. There you go. So now that's how I've sold that. Now, nice thing about this is this guy's out here while I'm not selling any more potions, and each worker can only hold and transport one potion. You can't do more than one, so he's like, okay, well then I'm going to go and I'll work to where I can harvest. So I'll go 1, 2, and 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Roll a die. 6. That's a big one. All right. Now, he's moved. So I got to do, let's see, what else do I want to do? I want to do another worker. Let's get him up here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Now we're on our next turn. 3, 4, 5. Roll another die. Ah, I only got 1 ingredient. Just the luck of the roll. Now let's get these guys back here. So we have 1, 2. 1, 2. That's his action. Now I have that. I can bring this guy back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those actions. And now let's go ahead and make a potion. Okay? Got all my workers now. I could send more out if I wanted to, but it's always nice to have extra workers. But you really want to get that management of people out in the field, out in the kingdom, and then workers out in the field and workers in your wizard shop to help you create these potions. So we'll do another 6 ingredients that we put together. All right, so we have 5, 4, 6, 2, and 2. Now this time, I'm going to take these 2, and I'm going to keep them for an extra potion. I want to try and get as many potions as I can. So now these ones can't do anything else with. I can now only manipulate them by using my workers. And again, I'm looking for these black and red ones, if I can get them. So we have a 4, that's going to make me go this way. A 6 is going to make me go this way, and these 2 will cancel to a 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, and then 6 is going to make me go 1, 2, 3, 4, and off the map. Unless I go 1, 2, 3, go up 4, and then come out and I'm still going off. So I've got to lower these. But we look good by going 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If I can make that go 4, I'm looking like I'm in the right direction of this black and red. So we can knock this up 1, which will make it not, or knock this down so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then this, I need this to be a 3, but this 6 I have to get rid of. So one of the things that we can do is, let's do this. We have a worker and we can do, move it to a new position, right? That was an action. Now at least we're looking at 2, right? I don't have to worry about this direction. And then I said I need 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we are going to increase or decrease this one by 1. That's an action. Now I'm at 4, but 2 is not enough. 1, 2, I need 3. So I want to lower, I want to switch this, flip it, and make it a 1. And that was an action. Now I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to make this potion and try and get a black. So we have 4. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. So we got 1, 2, 3. And we're good. We made another black potion. Cool. Take these resources back. Take our workers back. And then put there. So now I've got me another black potion. So let's get some guys out here so we can get people that are gathering. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And we roll. Oh, I'm not doing very good on these gathering. So we'll save one of these to move the black one. And we'll go 1, 2. Oh, that's a good one. And then we'll try and get guy up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, terrible. All right, so let's go and we'll bring these down and get these all back in here and see if we can create some more potions. All right, so we're on turn 3. Let's get this guy over here. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right, now we've got this set of ingredients, an available worker. We'll bring this guy. We'll go 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3. We're on another turn. Sell that. Made another 20 gold. And then we'll bring these back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll bring this guy back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the only unfortunate thing is that we've got all these ones. So let's get these out of the way. Remember, each of the white dice is only going to create one potion, right? So unfortunately, I roll 1, put it on here, and then it's like, okay, I'm not going to be getting too good of stuff. I can still manipulate it, right? I've got 4 workers. Now, I'm looking at empty spaces if I leave the 1, right? But at least I can try and get a green one. I'm not going to be able to do anything else. These lines are green and yellow. So the best I can get is a green. So we'll just do it +1. We'll make this a 2. 1, 2 is a green potion. So at least we got a green potion. All right. And then let's get rid of this other one. Same thing, 1. Increase it by 1, which is 2. And another green potion. But now you'll see I only have 2 green potions I can make. Right, so we might as well get these out. They're not too far. I mean, I get 4 gold for them, so we'll take this guy. We got 1, what's the fastest way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3. Either way, it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We sell that, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take this other guy. All right. First we'll bring him. Let's see, we'll go 1, 2. We'll harvest. That's a good one. We'll take this guy, go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, not that one. That's my 5. And then we'll take this one and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's get this guy, this one back. So 1, 2. And we got another 6. So not bad. So you can see that you have, I mean, definitely higher rolls of ingredients, much better, right? A lot of doubles when you're rolling for your initial ingredients for the potion to start, even better, because now you're looking at extra potions. Remember, you can only do 2 potions max when you're splitting ingredients. The more workers you have, the more manipulation you can do, and more positions you can change, more mechanics of how do I want to manipulate these values to get those black and red potions. Okay? You use a 6, get to roll all these dice, right? And this is great because now I'll set these aside. We'll do 5, 6, 1, and 3. Can we get a black one? well, this would go 1, 2, 3, and then this would be 1, and then that would be 5. So I want to knock that down. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I want to make that a 2. Right, 1, 2, 3, make that a 2, and then knock this down. Right, and get rid of it. So I think we can do that. We have an action of 3 is good, 1, 2, 3, and I need a 2. So we'll make this a 2. Right, that's an action. I want to get rid of this value. So I think the easiest way to do that is flip it. So it's a 2. And then, oh man, ran out of my workers. So let's say I wasn't paying attention, and now I got to see what I have left to work it. So I have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And this way, 1, 2. I only got a green potion. So that was bad. I need to pay attention when I'm doing these. So we go, okay, well, at least I've got 2 more, right? Oh, and I have my worker here, so I'll do this one now. So I've got a 6 and a 5. Okay, can I get this over here? Well, if I can do 1, 2, 3, and then go 1, 2, 3, sure. All right, so if we do, let's see, I'd have to drop that down. I don't want to drop that down to 3. That's going to take up 3 of my guys. So I know if I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Or 5, I can make that 6. Bring this down, bring it over. See, this manipulation, it's hard. So 6 this way, 5, 5. So we want 1, 2, 3. I want to knock that down, which is 4 to 1, and then go 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can do this. So first one we do is we do evens, right? We make this to the next even, which is 4. That was an action. So now we've got 4. 1, 2, 3, but I need it 3. So then we use a -1 to make it a 4. Okay, and that's an action. Now, the last one is I need to get that to a 3, so we'll use odds again. Odds or evens. It's an action, and we make this the next odd down. So now I think we might have it. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. We get a red potion. That's the second highest value. All right, take these up, clear it out. Let's go bring this guy. Let's get some money. So here we go. 1, 2. Red one gets me 14 points. So we've got 1. We're in the hundreds now. And then 2, 3, 4, and then 10. So now we are at, oh sorry, bring that down. All right. Wait, let's do this again. So we had, my bad, here. So if we were at 30, we had 14, you just go 10, and then you go 11, 12, 13, and 14. Sorry, I was thinking I was at 90. So I got 14 points out of that. That's a good one, right? And then I got another 6 for another potion. But remember, I have to keep track of my turns because I have to get this 220 or more gold before I finish the 15th action on the 15th turn. Okay? So that's kind of the mechanics of moving and gathering and selling potions. And then over here, that's all the mechanics for manipulating all your workers and your ingredients to create the best potions you can. Again, these are your 6 potions you can create. You always want to try and get these red and black ones. Do not allow these this white cube to go off the edge of the cauldron or it's ruined. And then make sure you keep track of which workers you have in your shop, because those are the only guys that are going to allow you to manipulate or use these tasks. You can, just some things, a worker can only harvest 1 die at a time and bring it back. They can only sell 1 potion at a time and be back. Now there's different rules for the advance, and let me talk about that in this next section of the video. But this right now, this should give you all the information you need how to play the basic rules of the potion maker. Again, you can find all the rules on Board Game Geek.